Welcome back to another episode of Hoot and Poop. So in today's video, I will be following up on the earnings transcript of ClearPoint Neuro. So in my previous video, which I've shared the link in the description below, where I've talked a little bit about the slides that they had released prior to their earnings transcript. Now, so in today's video, I have actually dived through the whole transcript and will be highlighting a few key areas that I would like to share with you guys. Alright, so going on to the topic of today, basically we all know that ClearPoint Neuro, they have 4 pillars of growth. So the 4 pillars are functional neurosurgery navigation, which is their navigation tool. Number 2, which is biologics and drugs delivery, because tapping onto ClearPoint's technology, they work with different partners to deliver drugs to, for example, the brains. The third growth pillar is the therapeutic products and access devices, and the fourth is global expansion. Now, I will not be touching a lot on the global expansion part because I personally feel that it's still very preliminary and there's not much of any significant info that is presently at this moment. So I'll be focusing on the 3 other growth pillars, right? So going on to their first pillar, which is the functional neurosurgery navigation. Based on the latest earnings transcript, right, they mentioned that the revenue has increased 30% year over year. They have also expanded and achieved record case volume. They also mentioned that this year, 2022, they will be carrying out clinical trial for the ClearPoint 2.1, Array 1.1, as well as Maestro software. So this is something that we must track carefully as an investor, because we need to know whether if the management, right, keeps to their words. And they have also mentioned that in 2023, they will be carrying out clinical trial for BCI Smart Frame, something that I'm very excited about. Orchestra, MBR, and Revolution. So this is something that we also have to track for next year. And they also mentioned that in the second half of next year, they do expect FDA's approval for Smart Frame Array. Okay, now moving on to the biologics and drugs delivery, they said that the revenue has increased 31% year over year. Right, they have about 40 individual farmers as well as services that are working with ClearPoint Neuro, and they expect that this pillar to be one of the fastest growing pillar in 2022. Now, take a look at this image here where I have actually showed you in the previous video. Now, in this whole simple image, they actually talk about all the 4 pillars, where we have global expansion, drugs delivery, DBS, BCI, and laser ablation. Now, if we purely talk about the drugs delivery, which is the second pillar that I went through, you can see that these are all, the illnesses that ClearPoint Neuro is targeting. And at this present moment, we know that all of these illnesses that ClearPoint is targeting, okay, they are carrying out active clinical trial as well as pre-clinical studies and testing. So what it means to say that once this clinical trial has been completed, has been done, we can see a solid green button that's been shown here. Once this has been done, alright, meaning to say all their partners, alright, that uses ClearPoint Neuro to deliver the drugs will be able to use ClearPoint Neuro for scaling. Okay, and each time they use, there is an incremental revenue given to ClearPoint Neuro. So this is something that is very large, although at this present moment it is still in a clinical trial stage. It may take quite a while for it to materialize. But if you think about it, the more drugs that they have, the more partners that they have, currently they have 40, the better it is, because it's like a soccer match, right? If you have a lot of strikers, and if the strikers keep on attempting, right, to shoot at goals, the probability of you hitting goals, scoring goals, is higher. Alright, so this is how we look at it. Okay, now the third pillar, which is the therapeutic products and access devices. Okay, unfortunately, in the fourth quarter, the revenue stays the same, so therefore there is no increment. okay, because they are affected by the COVID-19 cases, where Omicron was the more predominant cases back then. Okay, however, they did mention that in this year, they are expecting to carry out their first ever clinical trial for the laser ablation system. Okay, and also this year they will be, having a full market release of the operating room version of Adore Drew. This is something that where they partner with a German company to come out with this Adore Drew. So these are the few things that we have to track. Personally, I don't think there will be very significant results coming from this arm, which is the Therapeutic Products, for the upcoming quarter's revenue. But of course, it's something good to track on the 2022, or rather this year's clinical trial for the laser ablation system. Okay, so in summing up, basically we can see that there are growing revenues, or rather there are growth put in by the management for ClearPoint Neuro. However, because it is a medical product, okay, a lot of times there's always these procedures of getting approval, making sure it's safe to be implemented and stuff. And for ClearPoint Neuro, because their devices had already been proven to be much more effective, but what scales them in terms of revenue, it relies on their partners. So therefore, the 40 partners that I've talked about plays a very important role. So for investors, right, if you are investing in this company, or if you are interested in this company, you must understand that there is a significant portion of risk to it. I wouldn't say it's a very risky kind of play, but it is a very long-term play, because for any medical devices, you always need time for it to materialize. Okay, so given that it's a long-term play, it's not something where you just invest in it today and then the price will go up next year. It's not this way. It could take about 3 to 5 years. So this is the time horizon that I'm looking at. Okay, so I hope that this kind of short sharing would help you to have a better understanding on the latest earning transcript that I have gotten out from ClearPoint Neuro. Alright, and with that, I'll see you in the next video. Invest safe.